Okay, so are you fine with being audio recorded?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for doing this interview. I
Yeah, of
appreciate it
course.
very much.
No problem.
So we are going to get started. So my first question is, what is one thing this organization has done that you are most proud of?
Um, Honestly, probably the work that was done during the winter storm. We were able to help hundreds, if not close to like 1,000 different families. And, um, that was a major kind of need for our city. And, folks were without power, without food, just, we were
Yeah,
lacking a lot of necessities. And we were able to provide those things for a lot of different people. And I'm really proud of the team for how everything, was handled.
that's nice. Because that was a very difficult time.
Yeah, yeah, for everyone, even those of us who are more fortunate, like it was still rough. So it's hard to imagine those who didn't have access to the necessary resources.
Yeah,
So
I saw a lot of people get together and start helping. So it was
yeah,
nice to see the community get together.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, what other programs do you guys have in the works?
Um, so I wouldn't necessarily call them programs, but we still do our monetary fund distribution. Since winter is coming around again, I know that like we don't have a very long winter, but last year we did a shoe drive, so we'll probably redo that again. I know we're doing something like a winter coat drive as well. We had like an organization from, I believe it was like Oregon, reach out to us and say that, or Denver, I'm sorry, it was Denver, say that they wanted to donate a bunch of coats to us because, obviously it's cold almost throughout the year over there. So they have a bunch of coats over there and they heard about us. So they want to get those to us so that we can distribute those, among those who are in need of them. Um, we've also been kind of working on this little project that we haven't really announced yet, because we're still trying to figure out how to like dot our I's and cross our T's, but we'll be doing scholarships for DACA students.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's not gonna be, anything crazy, but it's gonna be like $1,000. And we're hoping to get enough for at least like 5 to 10 students, and help out with that. We did and we just finished like our a school drive not too long ago as well, like a school supply drive. I think we distributed the last of our stuff last month. So we're kind of just looking for little ways that we can help out around the community. We kind of lost some momentum in the last couple of months. We've all kind of gotten busy. One of our girls moved to Austin, and there's only four of us.
Mhm.
So we're kind of, yeah, trying to figure out how to pick back up that momentum so that we can keep everything going. So we've just been finding little ways. We just did a trunk or treat and like handed out some resources there this past weekend. And at the moment, yeah, it's kind of just what to do next from here.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I like that idea of the scholarships because anything helps.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're hoping that we'll be able to attain the necessary funds to do that and it be a successful thing for a couple of people.
Yeah. Okay, how is it that you guys got started?
So actually I was the one who started Mi Gente. I started it with a shoe drive. I was by myself for a couple of months when it first started. I did a shoe drive and I actually donated those to a much larger nonprofit organization called Souls for Souls. And then after that, my mom had done a menstrual product drive like some time back, and she was like, "Oh, you should do one." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right, you're right." Okay, so then I did a menstrual product drive, and I gave out these things called the brown bag special.
Mm-hmm.
So it had like 15 tampons, 15 pads, and then like a pack of flushable wipes in them. But they were being handed out in like brown bags. So a lot of folks that we work with were getting the idea, that there was food in them. So that kind of started the idea of, well, that's obviously, what's going to be a necessity. So, or that's, of course, it's a necessity, everybody has to eat. So that started the whole let's do hot meals thing. And that's when I started asking for volunteers to come out and help me cook and hand out food. And we've kind of just grown from that.
Wow, that's insane. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the community feedback was insane. We had like over 3,000 menstrual products donated to us when I did that drive. So that's when we were like, I was like, okay, this is gonna be much bigger than I thought it was. Like, I really didn't know what to expect. I was just putting some things together, like just trying to help out a little bit, that we were amidst our first pandemic. And I started Mi Gente last April. So it's been over a year already. Um, so yeah, that's kind of just blown up to
Yeah,
something way
really
bigger.
fast.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say makes you different from other organizations working on the same goal as you?
Um, I think maybe the diversity of the backgrounds that we come from. We do have, one of our girls is here on DACA. One of our girls works with foster youth. One of us has actually like dealt with homelessness themselves. So I think just the way that we can relate to the people that we want to help, it might make us different. The other organizations that we work with, they do incredible work as well. And I'm sure they've had their fair share of hardships, but I think that the team that we have, we all just have the same goal of kind of just wanting to make it a better, like make San Antonio a better place, make it a more livable place for those who have to struggle. And we don't just focus on one thing. We try and help in every single area. Whereas I feel like other organizations, they kind of have like one main focus, and ours is more so like an umbrella type of focus, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
what? Oh, keep going.
oh, sorry, I was gonna say,
No,
like, if we see a need for something, then we'll try and tackle it. Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what are some goals you hoped or hope to accomplish this year?
Um, I really just hope that we keep things going. We've been able to make a really big impact, and a lot of people have expressed their gratitude for that. And it's been like rewarding just in that itself, just the fact that we were able to help so many people. And I just hope that we are able to maintain that momentum and able to maintain the support from the community and continue to do things that will ultimately, I guess, just like make San Antonio a better place.
Mm. Do you have any like goals set for next year?
um yes and no. I guess it kind of just depends how this year ends, really.
Mm-hmm.
we're we have a few things, like I was saying, with the whole DACA scholarship situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that will probably roll out at the beginning of next year,
Oh,
as
okay.
long as we can attain our goal for this year.
Mhm.
So, if we're able to attain, or if we were able to make our goal for this year, then ultimately we'll be able to, make our goal for next year with that. And then there's just like some initiatives that we want to work on with like Yanawana and with the Southwest Workers Union. So there's a few collabs that we really want to step into next year, but it's just kind of like a matter of them as well. Like everything kind of at this point has to be taken a day at a time. We just have to see how things go, and especially with like this whole pandemic situation, we have to see how that plays out in the next couple of months. And I guess basically just have to feel out for what there's going to be a major need for in the future. Obviously, monetary distributions are going to be something we want to continue to do those. But yeah, we'll have to see how everything goes.
True, true. Okay. Do you have a story that has like made a significant impact in your life? Like helping someone that has like impacted you or something like that?
Um, I mean, kind of every time we would do hot meal distributions once or twice a week. And we, made friends with a lot of these people and made relationships with a lot of the folks that we would go out and, supply this food to and stuff. And it's not necessarily, it's more so like the stories that they told us,
Mm-hmm.
not a story that I had with them, but, just them expressing how grateful they are for something as simple as a meal is like really something that has kept personally me going, because I feel like obviously everybody has the right to have access to a hot meal,
Right.
and that was like one of the major things is that I we didn't want to just do sandwiches,
Mm.
it because that's something that they can easily attain
Yeah.
basically, but a hot meal is something more personal, something that like it's more filling, it's just more heartwarming, it's just more warming,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's just yeah. So the gratitude that was expressed when we were giving out these hot meals was insane, and that has kept us going for a long time. As I mean, me personally, for sure, like it's something so simple yet something like so big to them. And I think just knowing that like we made that much of a difference in just their day-to-day life. They were literally like, they would wait for us and be like, oh, it's Thursday, like we're gonna see y'all this day, and they would be like, oh, we've been expecting you, like we've been waiting for you, and like
yeah.
just
Aw.
stuff like that. Yeah, just excited to see us because they know like what we're there for.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
They
that
know they have someone to be there for them.
yeah, exactly. So
Mm.
that kind of, yeah.
All right. Next question is, what would you say has been like the event or project that has like put y'all out there?
Definitely the monetary donations during the winter freeze. I think that's when we gained our most like traction, and we had like our name, either that or the shoe drive, because we even had we had KSAT reach out to us when we did our shoe drive last year.
Oh,
Yeah, so we did like an interview for them for that, and we had like 700 pairs of shoes donated.
oh wow.
Yeah, so either that or yeah, the monetary donations during the winter freeze. And honestly, it may have been because Chrissy Teigen like posted about the fundraising that we were doing for the winter drive, or
Oh
for
wow.
the winter freeze. Yeah, so like there was a few big names, actually like the LA Times and like a few other the Rolling Stone, like a couple of large magazines
Mhm.
or publications wrote about us. So that definitely got us a lot of eyes on us.
That answered my next question. It was, what kind of recognition have you received?
Yeah, it's been I've been driving home before and like listening to from work and like listening to the radio and like I heard someone like there was I cannot remember the name of it at the moment, but there was like a group of guys that like put together a Christmas CD type of ordeal, and all the proceeds that they made they wanted to donate to us.
Oh, wow.
So we heard about that on the radio. Like I was literally driving home and they're like, oh, and this Christmas CD is going to be for sale. All proceeds are going to Para Mi Gente. And I was just like, stopped dead in my tracks. I was like, oh my God, what? Like, it was
Wow.
crazy. And then, like I had said, we had been on KSAT for the shoe drive that we did last year, the Christmas shoe drive, because we had done two separate ones.
Mhm.
The Rolling Stone, the LA Times. Yeah, I mean, it's and then yeah, I mean pretty much every sort of publication, every sort of media outlet has reached out to us. There's been articles and newspapers and you know essays,
That's
all
really
types of
nice.
yeah.
Okay. What stands in the way of the organization's success?
I think kind of just our schedules. Like I think the fact, it's a lot of work, and personally, I'm the only one with a kid in the group. I have a 2-year old, so like I obviously, have a lot to deal with. I work and I'm in school and stuff as well. So I think for me, it's the fact that I get burnt out. And then like I said, the other girls are very much involved in other community projects as well, and like doing their own thing. We all have to live our lives and we have to take time to ourselves. So I think just like our schedule is really what holds us back. And the fact that we can't dedicate as much time to it as we would probably like to.
Mhm.
uh, so I honestly, I would just say not having enough time.
Okay, and final question. What kind of people are usually the ones to donate? Like what kind of like
um
I guess race in a way, or it's like ethnicities or things like that?
uh Probably people of color. Just I think that obviously, they understand hardship more than, I hate to say this, but like a Caucasian person.
Right, right.
um and they're more involved with like community period as a whole.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I were to guess, and from what I've seen personally, I would definitely say people of color are more generous and understanding of our cause.
Right. All right. Well, those are all the questions I have for you. And also, is it just Instagram that I could find you on, or are there any other platforms that you have?
I mean, no, we don't have any other platforms. I mean, you can email us. We have our email on there. But other than that, yeah, no, we kind of just stick to Instagram. And I mean, we have flyers, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Well, then I will be sure, because I hadn't heard about your organization until the class that I'm taking.
Mhm.
And I looked at it and I was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. I didn't know there was all of these organizations that
How did how did how did we come up in your class?
um we were talking about what is it called?
Mutual aid?
Yes, mutual aid. We were talking about mutual aid. It was like a class on mutual aid, and we were looking at like the Black Panthers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to do like this project, this interview thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she had like put a list of like a whole bunch of like organizations that we could interview and look at, and what we thought was interesting, and like different topics, because there's different organizations for like different things.
Yeah.
And I saw yours and I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because I was looking at like immigration
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and and you guys were like the only ones that answered me.
Aw.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
but
cool.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, no
So,
problem.
so yeah, that's how you guys came up.
Oh, cool. Well, I hope I was a little bit helpful. I haven't done an interview about Bada in a while, so I was like, I don't know what they're gonna ask. I'm nervous, but I
Yeah,
hope
no,
I
you
gave
did great.
something to work with.
Yeah, this is gonna be so helpful. You did so good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
All
Well, if you need
right.
anything else, just email us and yeah, we'll get back to you.
Cool. I'll let you get back to your busy day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one.